Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the Saaghe Fogwe podcast. So, once again, we're doing this without our producer. So, trying to make sure that everything is good here, make sure we're live. I know we're live in here, make sure we're live on YouTube. Get comfortable, everyone. All right, let me just check a couple of things here, make sure we're live everywhere. Yes, we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube and on X. Okay, and on Instagram. All right. So we're live everywhere. Okay, guys. Welcome to the show today. It's going to be a special one. It won't be long. I'm by myself today, so we won't keep you too long. Make sure we're well positioned here. So our topic today is September 1st. So it's a Labor Day special today. A very special topic, something I'm passionate about for those who, watch my posts, those who I've talked to in person. Apart from being a healthcare provider as a nurse practitioner, I'm also a wealth care provider or professional, because health and wealth go together. And while I'm helping people take care of their health, I also want to help people take care of their wealth. So that means that we have to combine these two things because we're finding out more and more that being healthy is important. It's very important to keep up with your health, keep up with your basic your basic health, just making sure that you're checking labs, you're checking your annual physicals, you're doing what you need to do to stay healthy. And all of this comes into play when people are trying to get life insurance. I've had a couple of people turn down because of not being healthy, and so that's why it's very important to me, to make sure that I'm coming back every time and talking to you know to the audience, talking to the community, and re-educating people, because most of the time people, um, we assume that people know what is good for them. And sometimes you talk to people and they're not in the right mind frame, when you are trying to educate them about these concepts. And it's important that we keep on reiterating these things, reminding people. And that's why I thought that today would be a good topic to really, especially it being the first of the month. September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. I had a little argument with my middle child, my son, saying, why does life insurance need a whole month, to talk about it? It's not as important as cancer. It's not as important as the other things that have a whole month. But we do need a whole month, because even when we have a whole month to remind people to post about life insurance, we talk to people, we have appointments with people, we still need to remind them after that, because even after that conversation, if even after educating people, you still find out that people are not aware of what they need to do, to keep up with their life insurance, or they're not aware of what they need to do for to protect themselves and to protect their families and all that. So, all right, so let me make sure I'm in the right place here. Okay. All right. So this topic today, we're going to go right into it. Why is it important to talk about life insurance? Um, the it's been known that in our communities, the way life insurance has been portrayed is like it's a bad thing, or it's portrayed as if, people are just waiting for you to die so they can collect, the benefit from life insurance. But we're finding out more and more that life insurance is not just about death. Life insurance comes in handy, um, when you need it the most. Even while you're still on this earth, you need it the most, because we're out there, we're working hard, we're going about our business, we're clocking in, clocking out, working for somebody, but we forget that our skills and our income are merged together. So skills and income. So if you don't have the skills, you can't work to earn the income. So when something happens to your skills as a nurse practitioner, if I can't use my hands and something happens to me and I'm not able to go clock in and clock out, I won't be given that steady paycheck that comes every 2 weeks. I won't be given that. And so what happens when that income goes away? We need to protect that income. And that's where some forms of life insurance come into play, because they can protect your income. They can protect you, so that when the unfortunate happens, your family doesn't have to go without that coverage. Your family doesn't have to miss a meal. Your family doesn't have to miss paying the mortgage or rent. Your family doesn't have to miss paying for basic bills, because you find families who end up in a shelter just because one the breadwinner, or let's say a single family parent home, that one parent is unable to work for an extended period of time and their income goes down the drain. They're not able to live up to it, and they end up homeless. You see people in the shelter, people who are very well to do, but because they didn't have the right protection, that happens. And so for the most part, people don't realize how important it is. So that's why this month we'll be talking a lot about life insurance, to keep reminding people we still have 3 months, to go for the to get to the end of the year. It's not too late to do the right thing for you and for your family. It's never too late. So we still will keep educating the community, sending out information, bombarding you with information, and you get it from so many different directions, because a lot of people in the community do the same thing that I do. But I just happen to have this platform where I've decided to, interject it with some of these concepts, because what is why would we have all this information and not share it with each other? We have to share it. And like I said, sometimes people are not ready mentally to listen to the information. So, at some point, we have to just keep reminding people, doing gentle reminders, not being aggressive and trying to, force it down your throat, but just making sure that you have the information. And if you don't take action, it's up to you. So we talk about life insurance protecting your income. Critical illnesses happen every day. We have people who get sick in our community. Aren't we tired of coming together every time to do a GoFundMe because somebody got sick? Not that it's a bad thing for us to do, but wouldn't it be less of a burden if we have people, if we have everybody in our community protecting themselves, even with the most basic life insurance policy that could be activated if they had, say, a stroke, if they had a heart attack, if they had end stage renal disease, if they had a transplant, you had a kidney, a liver, a lung transplant, and you needed to activate your policy, as long as you have it while you're still healthy. Because obviously, once you get sick, some companies will not cover you, some will. We're finding out that there are some companies that will still extend some grace to you even if you've had a condition before. And that's why we always want to sit down with clients and have a personalized conversation, because for the most part our community is afraid to share their whatever they're going through, their condition, their medical condition. But we're covered by HIPAA laws. So if somebody goes about spreading your information, that person, they have a license to protect. I have a license both for medical and for financial. So I'm not going to mess around and sit there in a beer parlor, which I don't go to, beer parlor, but or sit somewhere spreading that information. No, that's not what we're about. We're about the mission to help every single family, to help every single individual, everybody in my phone book. I want to reach out to you. So if you get messages from me, you get phone calls from me, it's because I'm on a mission to make sure that everybody knows this information. and you know it to your fingertips, so that you can make a conscious decision for yourself. You can make a conscious decision for your family. You can make a conscious decision for your community. Because even though it's about you, at the end of the day, it does affect the community, because one wealthy person in a community is not good enough. One person protected by their life insurance policy is not good enough. Every single one of us needs to have at least a basic coverage, the basic coverage that, if something were to happen, the unforeseen, at least your family has something to, to make sure that you go to your final resting place, in a dignified manner, where we're not sending a basket around and asking for collections. Even if we do that, let that be a bonus to the family. Let that be in addition to you doing the needy, do the necessary for you and your family. So that's why we're wanting to make sure that we're reminding people about this month, reminding people about, the life insurance awareness, making sure that you know that it is important to have, basic life insurance. And I think I'm able to show my screen, because I did prepare a little. I might not be able to, but let's see. Or maybe the technology will work with me here. Yeah, just to let's see if technology will work with me. I'm learning this stuff, guys, so bear with me. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Yeah, so while that's processing and trying to upload the file, okay, I think it's there. So let's see if I can move me from here to stage. All right. Yeah. So we're basically we're talking about life insurance awareness. I'm going to go through this real quick so that I don't bore people. I see the two people who started watching, they dropped off, but that's okay. You watch the video later. This information is important. Whether we admit to it or not, it is important. So, let's talk briefly. I'm going to talk briefly about the types of life insurance that are out there. There are two main types. You have temporary or temp, which, under that you have just your basic term policy, and then you have term with living benefits. The term with living benefits means that when you have the chronic, critical, or terminal illness, your policy can be activated with, where they can advance you on the policy to take care of your illness while you're still here. So it's not where we're waiting for you to pass away before they activate the policy. So term with living benefits would be a good policy for you to, to add on to your financial portfolio to protect that income, where I was talking about skills and your income being equal to each other. And in order to separate those two, you need to protect your income. So term with living benefits will do that. And then the second type is permanent insurance. So permanent insurance has whole life, which most of us know about whole life. That's like it's been around for quite a bit. You can have it up to age 100. It has some cash value to it, but not, that's not always the case. Just depends on what kind. And then you have the index universal life, which is, which has, cash value to it. So the uses, and I kind of already jumped the gun a little bit, the uses of life insurance, like I said, you're not only having life insurance because you want, you don't only have life insurance because it will cover you only for death. The basic term will protect you for that purpose, where, a term just means that you can have it for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, some even go up to 35 years. And when that period is over, you don't have that policy. The second one is also term. It protects you, but it also has the living benefits, which is the income protection in case of critical, chronic, terminal illness, like I already mentioned. Permanent, whole life goes up to age 100, some cash value, but not always guaranteed. And then index universal life, as you can see, it has a lot of benefits. That's when you're going deeper now. You want to really intentionally set up your financial portfolio. You want the protection, you want the living benefits, but you also want, additional to that. And that's still life insurance. So income protection, tax-free retirement, college planning for your kids, emergency fund. It helps you avoid probate. It avoids liability, cash value accumulation, key person protection, executive bonus plan, exit plan for sole proprietors or business owners, and the list goes on. That list could keep going on, but it's just so that you're aware that life insurance is not just about death. It's for you to use while you're here. So those are the basic uses of life insurance there. And I think that's it. So I'm gonna get out of that real quick. And yeah, so this month again, we'll be reaching out to people to make sure that if you have questions, you can answer them. There's so many agents in the community. It doesn't have to be me. It can be anybody who has reached out to you before, anybody who has talked to you, but you weren't in the right mind frame, or your financial situation did not permit you to do something for your family. Get something basic. It's really really important to make sure that you do something, because every I think every group that I belong to has had to activate some kind of GoFundMe or some kind of contribution list, because either somebody got sick or somebody lost a family member. But if we really intentionally try to make a change for our community, I think that all together we can work on this and make sure that we protect ourselves, we protect our families. And it's also education. Like last week we talked, the guest I had, we talked about legacy planning. This is one way of doing that, because we're also teaching our kids. I'm having those conversations with my children, making them aware of why this is important to me, and why this is important to us, and why this is important for our community. And it's already sticking in their heads, so that they know that they can, they'll have to, they understand this information and pass it on. They can educate their friends when they're out and about. They can educate the people that they come across, and it's just going to be something that I'm going to be proud of leaving this world, knowing that I've passed it on to my children, and it will go on to my grandkids and great grandkids. So, not to bore people, we're not going to make it a long session today. I wanted to just make it real brief, a quick one. um, I don't think there are any questions. I can't see my comments. Yeah, I don't think there are any, but we'll share the video definitely. And and I think there's a little lag on Facebook. But we'll share the video later, and just anyone who wasn't able to watch it live, pass it on to them, because this is important information. I have a flyer that I'll put on my status. I'm going to be posting it on Facebook and sending it to people individually. So if you hear from me, don't feel overwhelmed. It's just me trying to educate. And that flyer is just, so if you're just looking for basic life insurance, you can just scan that and get you an instant quote, very affordable, and go from there. At least start from there. Let's start from there before we even go into like the more complex financial plan, doing a financial review for you, making sure that you're intentionally setting up a plan for you, so that you're not playing catch up later. Like some of us really are playing catch up, when we're in our late 40s and we're trying to put a plan in place. That's late. So those who are in their late 20s, early 30s, and you have a decent job, this is the time for you to really sit down and make some plans for the future. Start setting that money aside. Don't waste it on the designer clothes, the designer car, and shoes or whatever, purses. You can still have those things. I like good things too, but while you're taking care of yourself and the instant gratification, you also want to make sure that you're setting things aside, you're putting things in place so that the people around you won't be stressed out or feel overwhelmed in case of the unfortunate that happens. We never wish for it. We always say, God forbid, but God has already forbidden it. We just have to come meet Him halfway and do what we need to do to make sure that we're protecting ourselves. We're making we're making sure that we're doing our due diligence, just to make sure we're good to go and can live a stress free life and just go about our business. So again, thank you all. Anyone who was watching out there live, thank you. If you're going to watch the video later, thank you. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel, liking the videos, sharing. Just it's just a quick share. Doesn't hurt anything to share, right? Share in the groups, because this information, I don't think there's anybody who's immune from this information. Everybody needs to hear this. And until next week, I want to thank you again and thank you for watching the Saaghe Fogwe podcast. I'll see you next time. God bless.